Hey, honey. What you doing?
I'm taping up the wainscoting.
Is that how you say that?
What, wainscoting? I don't know, maybe. I always thought it was wainscoting. I mean, like, check out my great wainscoting. That sounds right to me. I don't know, as opposed to like, scoting, right? Like, that's some lovely wainscoting you have there. Sounds a little snobbish, don't you think? Like, I think when I'm done taping up the wainscoting, I think I'll have a spot of tea. As opposed to like, my way of saying it. Great wainscot!
Greetings from Fairfield. We are Richard and Kendra, and we are restoring this cool old Victorian house. We found this old Queen Anne for sale on the internet and decided to buy it. So we moved from the West Coast to the cornfields of Iowa. So join us as we explore and restore this 1896 Victorian mansion.
Hey, greetings from Fairfield. Welcome back to the future of our cool old Victorian house. And so, we get asked a lot what we like most about owning an old house. And I think one of the coolest things is it's kind of like having your own time machine, because up until this past week, we had no idea what the room looked like prior to 1964. And now we know what it looked like in 1945. And we even know what it looked like in 1896. Now that we know the date, we had no idea what was behind that. And it's also a very similar pattern or a similar style, I should say, for what was in the parlor. And now that we have a date, so like you can look at the details of the wallpaper and see that it's clearly the same basic thing. And in terms of print style and all that, color also very similar, more detail in that front foyer. But now that we know it was 1945, that means that this was sealed up much later than we thought, because we thought that wallpaper, at least in here, looked very 1920s, 1930s. And so surprised to find out that it was actually from 1945, which means this was sealed up in 1945. But another question we got last week, last comment on our last week's video, was, what is this room used for? This is most commonly referred to as the foyer, and it is the entrance. And in the Barber drawing, it's referred to as the reception hall. And in the newspaper archives, they refer to it as the reception hall as well. And so this is where you greet guests and welcome them into your house. Second, most frequently comment that we got last time around is why we didn't put drop cloths down while we were taking the wallpaper off. We actually only did this front section. I thought that might trigger a few people. A couple of reasons. We just finished taking down the Christmas decorations, the Christmas tree. So there were pine needles and glitter all over this area. And, I also thought that the mess would make for a fun thumbnail. So that was kind of intentional. And we just did this front area just to sort of make the mess. And so that way, when we cleaned it up, we only had to clean it up once. And so now that we got that done and we're going to move on to get the rest of this down, we then added the drop cloths and took down the rest of that wallpaper. And now that those are up, we can knock out the rest of this. All right, so we got the first layer stripped down. And what you see as far as like what's missing is, before they put up that wallpaper in 1964, the installer would have likely just taken a putty knife and scraped this wallpaper overlapped by about 1/2 inch for alignment. And so it likely came in, you can see as you go up, like they just scraped completely away all of that overlap seam and, you know, little chunks that are missing that were probably maybe loose or already separated from the wall that he just scraped right off. That's unfortunate because we found one overlap that he missed. Fortunate for us because we can now match up the make and the company that made this. And so basically, this wallpaper was done in the 1940s by a company called United Wallpaper Incorporated out of Chicago. Claimed to be the world's largest wallpaper manufacturer, at least at the time. But surprisingly, I don't find much information on that company or their wallpapers. I did find this particular ad on eBay, which I bought, 1941 from the Ladies' Home Journal, that showed a very similar style with the same trademark unitized, which was a patented in 1941. And basically, it was a coating that they added to the wallpaper so to protect it from sun and make it washable. You know, I don't find much information. However, in 1946, the year after they put this up, they ran a nationwide contest for wallpaper designs. And the prize money was pretty good. Like, maybe I'm in the wrong business because $1,000 was awarded to the grand prize for each room. And they had, like, I don't know, 5 or 6 rooms, the dining room, the living room, the bathroom, the kitchen, etc. $1,000 each room. That's the equivalent of $16,000 per design per room for the winner.
What about the grand prize?
I don't remember. It was like $1,500, which would make it closer to a $20,000 grand prize on that. I wonder if they're still taking submissions. Anyway, but if anybody has ever heard of this wallpaper company, United Wallpaper Incorporated, or knows more about the unitized wallpaper, I'd love to know. Drop them in the comments because, you know, again, we love the research, all the stuff that is affiliated with this house, and, you know, that's certainly one of them. But first, what we want to do is scan this wallpaper so we have a nice high resolution scan for future reference. And we're going to attempt to remove sections of it in larger pieces for scrapbooks and other keepsakes for this wallpaper. So we're going to cut to that and do that next. All right, so we're going to get started here. We're going to scan the wallpaper, before we attempt to take it off in case I'm unsuccessful. This is an older HP window scanner. And basically, you just put it on the area you wish to scan, and you click scan. And you would go through and do multiple scans. And then stitch them together in Photoshop. We're going to do 2 different passes. We'll do one dry and then one damp because it helps separate and bring out the color. But again, just sort of taking it incrementally, kind of even out some of the water damage, the water staining. And so it'll even out all those colors and give us better contrast. But just in case, again, that's unsuccessful, we'll have this. Dun, 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 dun.
Do you want me to push the button?
No? Ta-da! Notice the difference?
Yeah, I can.
All right. And so basically, to bring out and separate those colors a little more, we're using a damp sponge with just a little water. So it'll bring out those colors. Separation's a little much because I'm sure we had some fading over the years. And this will allow that for a much easier cleanup in Photoshop. And that makes a huge difference. Huge difference. Sorry, starting to dry up. I can get cracking. All right. All right, so we'll take all these images, we'll splice them all together. I know what I'm about doing. All right, well, let's see how well this goes. Same DIF as before. We're going to be going a little slower. And hopefully, there's a couple of good spots. So we can try this a few times. I mean, pretty much, this is one of the best pieces. These two pieces are the best looking ones that we got. Little plastic razor blade. We can carefully come in. We don't gouge it up with a putty knife. Been pretty successful. In removing this, but it does take some patience. It does take patience. Anyway, here, still film. So this is where I tore. Check it out. Over here. Anyway, we'll give another one another shot. Lay down some wax paper. Once it dries, we can maybe tape it back together. Shoot it with a clear coat or something. Make it a little easier to maybe handle, maybe. Let's see. I wish the paper was bigger.
Yeah.
Let's see. We don't want it sticking to the table.
Yeah, that's true.
But anyway, we might be able to do something with that. Let's give it another shot. Let's see if we can do another area. Try this section here. That's another nice big section with not a lot of tears on this side.
It should be not where the crack is.
Yeah.
At least we can-
Nice job though. And that's old. Or that's an old repair, I should say. But we'll shoot these pieces with clear coat, and we might even, you know, rescan them again or get a nice help bring those colors out. All right, let's see. Let's see. Dun, 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 dun. I don't know. I just thought it'd be cool to save some of this. We're going to start a little scrapbook of wallpaper scraps, little captions and dates. All right.
There's one above it too.
Doing a little better. Take that piece.
Okay. Wow. All right.
Looks like an old treasure map. Like X marks the spot. This might be the winner.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner? That is impressive. That big enough piece of. It's bigger than the table.
Ta-da! I think we got enough to work with, so I think that'll about do it for this part. Anyway, get the rest of this off. about do it. And so that's the wallpaper removal. Done. Oh, got a little bit there I missed. Anyway, but yeah, so no new discoveries. So our only discovery here is Mr. William Cupp, 1945. No evidence of wall sconces. And no evidence of a lower picture rail hanger in here. So nothing there. We did discover the original 1896 wallpaper, which was kind of neat because we had suspected what was here originally, but we weren't sure. But now we're sure because we found some smaller remnants up above the wood trim up top. And a while ago, we had discovered that back behind the, you're not going to be able to see this. We'll have to go up and around. But back here, back on this back side, there is wallpaper here that's kind of like falling off the wall. And the only way to get this here, there it is. Not really going to be able to see that very well, but little piece, it's falling off. And the only way to really see this, or the only way to install that, is put the wallpaper up there before they build the staircase. And this is also up above the wood trim. But we found more of it. And so, like I said, owning an old house is like a time machine. And every house has a lot of history and a story to tell. You just need to know where to look. So let's set that Wayback Machine, Mr. Peabody, for 1896 and take a look. Because this is the same stuff. Let's see if I can get a flashlight here. This is cool. Can you see that?
A little bit.
Ta-da! That is right behind the staircase there, on the back side of that thing. But even better, we found a big piece of it in a very unusual spot. Follow me. All right, so hopefully this works. But this is the linen closet, which we discovered this when we figured out the laundry chute was here. Not exactly sure what this was before they added the shelves to make it a linen closet, because that's not what it was. And hopefully this works, but because we've never done this before. But back up in here, something we've dubbed the flock peacock. Back on the back side of this wall of the linen closet. Who would have thunk it? But that is the same stuff that's downstairs. Original blocked wallpaper from 1896. And it's never seen the light of day in here. So that should be pretty non-faded. Pretty neat. I have to figure out how to get that off of there, though, to get a sample. Try scanning some of that. But there you go. I've read, or I've been told, that this old flock wallpaper contains arsenic, so you probably don't want to lick it. Well, there you have it. Our original 1896 flocked wallpaper, which was throughout the downstairs. And basically, for those not familiar, flocked wallpaper was very popular back in the late 1890s. And it's like an embossed, fuzzy pattern. And so that one we've kind of dubbed the flock peacock. And we found little bits and remnants throughout the downstairs. So kind of funny that we'd find it up here in the linen closet. But, well, there you have it. Our latest discovery. And so I guess that'll do it. We need to get that glue off the plaster and get those walls cleaned up. And add the wallpaper liner.
Wait, what's wallpaper liner?
What's wallpaper liner? That's a good question for next week's video.